It was a summer night. You told me something that was on your mind. We played a little game in innocent exchange from time to time. I started noticing no way for me to make it out alive. You told me that nothing good ever could last, but girl, I'll prove you wrong. You say that I am crazy, but girl, you can't deny that I won't stop till you're all mine. You say that I am crazy, but girl, you can't deny that I won't stop till you're all mine.
We're here at the Rhine Film Festival. What are your thoughts about the Rhine Film Festival experiences?
I have loved the experience of the Over the Rhine Film Festival. I have gotten to see a lot of films that focus on inclusion and really the diversity of the films really reflects the diversity of all people of all walks of life, and I love that it's focusing on individual stories of people who have overcome a lot of challenges, but also just value that people that are. It shows the stories of people who are really valuable parts of their community.
Yeah, I was asked by a program manager to come to a meeting at LAD about the OTR Film Festival, and she asked me, she said it would be good for me to work on my facilitation skills, so I agreed, and I'm so incredibly lucky to be able to watch all these films and see all these different perspectives, and just watching people express themselves through their art, and being able to talk about it with people afterwards.
I think it was amazing. I felt like all of the stories were extremely touching and inspirational, and they really focus on including all different walks of life, making everyone feel comfortable. I liked how everything was creative based, and I feel creativity is what saves the world, being able to express ourselves from our heart. And I really enjoyed the videos that you guys shared with us, and I'm happy that I was able to be here.
Run away from the pain of losing your dad by letting go of this. Just take it.
Initially, I didn't know too much about it, but getting here and actually being in a room with all the different filmmakers, it really gives you a sense of a pride of where our society is going as a whole. Some of the movies were very powerful with their message. I love how the movies really dove into topics that people don't talk about a lot. Everything you see in problems people have aren't always physical. Some of them are mental, and keeping that in context and aspect, and making sure that everyone gets their fair shake of life. I really got that message from today.
Why don't we start with you and your film, and tell us a little bit about what came to you and why you decided to do it.
Yeah, so my sister passed away, I think it's been a little bit over 2 years ago, and when she first passed away, this was my senior year of college, and I was just dealing with all these feelings and didn't really know what to do with them, and I thought the best way to deal with them was through my writing, and this was also a time when we had to write our senior thesis project, so this was like our big final film for college, and I was still deciding what I wanted to do, and then you know, at the Shiva for my sister's death, my cousin, who's a clairvoyant, connected with my sister's spirit, and she delivered this like really powerful message to me, which kind of rid me of the guilt I was experiencing for not always being there for her during her times of sickness, and it, like, just by like expressing her unconditional love for me, and like the last words during that experience were "carry on, little sis," which is like where I got the name for the film. So that's where like that's where I got the inspiration for the story. And while I was thinking of what to do for my senior thesis project, I got inspiration from that and dealing with like all these feelings of like how to deal with the grief that like all kind of like came together. And like instead of like using like my cousin as a clairvoyant, I was trying to like make it more film-esque, but it's like a lot of it's inspired by real events, and we actually filmed it at my parents' house, and there were like a lot of supernatural like things that had happened on set. Like if you remember like that like whoosh sound that happened when like the clairvoyant calls upon the spirit, like when we filmed it, it was like completely silent in the room. Like the clairvoyant just like closed her eyes and just called upon the spirit, and like I just asked for like quiet on set. And then when I was like playing back the footage, in every single take there was that sound, and I had no idea where that sound had come from. And like I had just decided to like keep the sound because it like made perfect sense. But still to this day I have like no idea where the sound came from. So I'm just like getting emotional, but it's just like really supernatural and crazy things that happened, and it was so really cathartic and really powerful process. So yeah.
My first time at this film festival, I've really loved it.
What you want to tell folks about this, about being the first time there?
If it's your first time at the OTR International Film Festival, definitely jump right in, go to the discussions, see as many films as you can, meet the filmmakers. They're great to talk to. It's a really interesting experience to get to go behind the scenes and talk to the filmmakers about what inspired them to make the films, and if it was based on anything in their real life experiences, because we're all here talking about our real life experiences and comparing what we see in the films to what our everyday lives are, and showing our individual stories.
What did you learn from this discussion we're having back here at this coffee shop? What did you learn so far?
In this coffee house discussion, I've learned, I've more been listening, I've been hearing to people's individual stories, and it's been a really good chance to compare what we've seen on film to people's personal experiences. So we're having some courageous conversations where people are just speaking their truth, and it's a really good opportunity to listen and hear other people's experiences.
I was just going to say that it develops differently in different people. My grandma had Alzheimer's for as long as I can remember, and then within the last 3 or 4 years, it's turned into full-on dementia, and it's just a completely different ballgame sometimes.
And my Nana was never violent, and I know some people get violent. My Nana never had, to my knowledge, she was never didn't know who any of us were. She would have a hard time placing it. So one time I came in, she called me the wrong name, and within a minute she realized she had called me the wrong name and started crying because she was that's not who you are. And she knew that so it's different for everyone.
So dementia comes first?
Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. So you can have dementia and not have Alzheimer's.
I wanted to also talk about my dad, Matthew, because something that really resonated in that film with me was when Elijah said that he was commenting, he was a very well-spoken and articulate 7-year-old, and he said that when he said people should accept people with disabilities, but then he critiqued that and said we accept things that are detriments to us, and we don't need to just accept people and tolerate people. We need to really appreciate them.
Okay, you want to explain about the discussion we had here at the coffee shop about what it was about and stuff like that?
Yes, so the discussion, we just kind of reflected on the films. Our block was there was a lot of heavy subject matter, so we kind of needed the time to think about it a little bit and think about what it means to each of us. And just talking about what we can do moving forward and how the films will impact our lives.
What do you want to say for folks that have never been to a world-based film festival?
I would say that you should jump right in, get a ticket, and watch all the films, do the discussions, meet the filmmakers. It's a great time.
In Cincinnati, I feel like if you're looking for something to do and you want to do something different outside of your box, definitely go to the Woodward Theater to catch some films.
It's a chance to view films in a different light that touch on every aspect of your life, not just something that you see in the movies. You can actually relate to them, and I would just tell everybody even to bring their kids out and let them experience that. It opens up a lot of conversations for people.
Over the Rhine Film Festival 2018.
Come to the Over the Rhine International Film Festival.